We're here for our final segment of the day. Normally, we like to finish it out in Columbus and have Professor Phil come on and do a variety of different subjects and topics for us. But today we're going to get into a very important topic, and it's our health discussion and making sure that we're always keeping ourselves safe and healthy right now, especially during this time when there's so much unknown. What we do know, we at least can use to our benefit, and we want to continue to do that. Again, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we're thankful to all of our military personnel, and Phil in particular served our country, so we're very thankful to him and everyone else out there that has. So live from Columbus, we have Professor Phil.
Welcome back, gang. Before we start, I have to apologize. I don't have any goats with me. I know that was very exciting just a bit ago, but no goats here in Columbus. The closest I can get is do this. That's the only goat I've got. But as Aaron said, we're going to cover some health again today. And for this hour, we're going to go over how to take care of our skin and what it does for us. Right? Like I said last week, some of these things seem like they're a little far from what we're really worried about right now, which is the virus that's sweeping the nation and the world. But as you'll see, taking care of your skin is one of the important ways that we can keep ourselves safe from this virus. And for those of you who are confused by the background I've got here, because it's mirrored and backwards and nobody can read it, I figure I'll just go over that. So wash your hands, maintain your social distancing, wear a mask, and if you need it, go get tested. All right, so let's go through and get into the skin and what all we've got here. So this is what our skin looks like. We've got several layers, and not all of this stuff are we really going to get into. But just so we know, right here at the top, and I hope you can see the cursor as well as everything else, this is the outside of the skin, the layers that we've got. And the very top of it will just be dead skin. But the rest of it underneath will still be alive. This is what we call the epidermis. All that means is the outside skin. And you can see the hairs coming up through it. We'll get to those as we go through. So you've got a layer or two of dead skin, and then some live skin, stuff you don't want to cut through. And then we get into the center section here called the dermis, or derma, depending. Dermis would just be one, and we're only talking about one thing here, so I'm going to continue to call it the dermis. That's where most of the stuff is happening in your skin. That's where your hair starts and grows out of your skin, and that's where we have our sweat glands. Now that's also where all our veins and arteries run through. We've got tiny little blood vessels that run all the way up, pretty much all the way up. Those are called capillaries, and there are so many and they're so tiny that nobody puts them in a picture. But if you cut yourself deep enough into the derma, then you can cause some serious damage. So don't cut your skin at all. And if you do, try and cut shallowly so you don't cut anything deep. And underneath all the fun stuff that we think of as skin, we've got a bunch of fat. That's what they mean by adipose tissue over here. That just means fat tissue. Fat everywhere in our body, and that's where it is in our skin. It gives us some energy. That's where we store a lot of what we eat. And it also gives us some cushioning. In case somebody smacks you, it doesn't go all the way through. So first, let's talk about the sweat glands. The sweat glands keep you cool. We get the sweat that develops here in this little knot, and then it comes out to the outside. So we get essentially salty water, which evaporates really quickly. And that evaporation will pull heat away from your skin. And that is one of the many fluids that you send out, I would say secrete onto your skin, but secrete's a fairly technical term, that you ooze out onto your skin. There are supposed to be fluids on your skin. This is one of them. Also, as your hair grows out, it has what we call a sebaceous gland. And a sebaceous gland is just a way to get oil onto your skin. Your skin needs oil. So let's talk about what the skin does for us now that we've seen what it looks like. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a poll. What does your skin do for you? What's the purpose of your skin? Oh, there we are. Let me see if that button's working. There we are.
Wash the skin.
What about the skin?
Wash it and keep it clean.
Yes, we absolutely need to keep our skin clean. Otherwise, it can't do its job. Kristen, you had something?
Yeah, you always put some like lotion on your skin so it doesn't dry out.
Right. So we talked about the oils on our skin and how, and the sweat and how your skin needs to stay moist. And that's what those oils are for. And those dry up really easily in the winter, particularly. But at any time, people can have drier skin. And that's why we would need to use lotion. So your skin, the basic point of having skin is to keep the outside outside and the insides inside. You don't want all the stuff outside getting into you. So your skin is that first layer of protection against everything bad in the world, including this virus that's given us so many fits and worries. Also, your skin keeps the water in. You are mostly water. You need to keep that water inside. And it keeps other water out. Again, it protects the outside from getting in, but your skin is waterproof. So those are your basic. Another purpose of the skin is to keep you cool and regulate your temperature. It'll also keep you warm in some ways. So that is what we were talking about with the sweat, but that is not a huge issue for us today. We're mostly concerned about how to protect our skin and keep it safe so it can keep diseases and things out. So as Kristen was saying, one of the important parts of that is to keep your skin moist. Anybody ever seen dry leather on like a sofa or a bag? Man, you know, it's how it starts to crack and flake away. Leather is just a type of skin, usually cow or pig. That same thing can happen to your skin. I pull up this picture here. So we're looking at that. This is fairly healthy, hydrated, moist skin. And then you see where it gets all rough and there's a bunch of dead, dry skin. If this goes long enough, it can crack apart and open into the living skin that we looked at before. And then we're exposing our blood to everything outside. Our skin isn't protecting us anymore. This is one of the biggest reasons that we need to keep our skin moist. That's what our hair follicles are doing. They're sending oil out. That's why you have hair all over the place. And you have sebaceous glands, the glands that send out oil, places where you don't have hair. We don't have hair on our palms or the soles of our feet, but we still have sebaceous glands. And we also have plenty of sweat glands on your feet. You know, if you get nervous or hot, your feet and your hands start sweating. So that's going to keep you nice and moisturized so you're safe. Once that starts cracking, your skin no longer keeps the outside out. There is a hole, just like if you ever see a dam that holds all that water back. If you get a crack, it goes right through. That's what we're trying to prevent with our skin. We got to keep it moisturized. And there are lots of different ways to do that. A lot of us have fairly moist skin, also called oily skin if you're in the skincare game for cosmetics and things. So we don't really have a problem with keeping our skin moist enough. Some of us have dry skin, just regular dry skin. You might need a little moisturizer, but generally a little on the dry side is fine. And if you have quite dry skin, you'll get that flaking and cracking, and you definitely need moisturizer then. One of the things to remember is that when we think of moisture, we often think of water. Water will not help your skin stay moist and hydrated. We need those oils. When we put water onto our skin, it's going to pull all that natural oil off from our sebaceous glands, and then our skin will dry out faster. So particularly if you're washing a lot, and we're washing our hands a lot right now because we want to keep all the virus away, then we will also be stripping off the oil from our skin, and that can dry it out, but our skin cracks, and then the virus gets through. So the hand washing doesn't help that much if we do it all the time and don't moisturize. You should definitely wash your hands a lot right now, but you should also moisturize. You got to keep your skin nice and soft and hydrated. That's the way to keep the outside out and the inside in. Never the twain shall meet. I'll grab another picture here. Oh, I didn't want that. There we go. This is a skin mite. You have millions of them on you right now, living and having a wonderful time. They do not bother you almost all the time. They're not a parasite or anything that damages you or hurts you. And all they do is live next to those oil glands, those sebaceous glands, and they eat some of the oil. So if you've got a lot, your skin will dry out and you'll need to moisturize more. But other than that, if people talk about skin mites and things like that, we all have them, and that's them. It's not something to worry about. You can be just fine. So if you have oily skin, as they say, then you are producing a lot of this. You may get too many of these, and that will cause a problem because they'll block up all of the glands where that oil comes out, and then your skin will again dry out. But go see your doctor. They'll take care of that. It's an easy thing to take care of. So we need to clean our skin. Again, we got to get rid of all the dirt that clings to the oil, because dirt clings to oil really well. But we also need to moisturize it when we clean it so that we get enough of that oil in there. We don't want to rip it all away. Still want to stay safe. Nice, flexible skin. But as we said before, one of the major ways that oil gets to the surface of our skin is through the hair. Even me up here, I've got tiny little hairs that nobody can see, even though I'm bald. And where I pretty much have no hair, like right here, there's still hair pores, follicles, we call them, where those sebaceous glands go out, and I still get oil to moisturize myself up there. But taking care of your hair is an important part of taking care of your skin. So a good cleansing shampoo every once in a while, that's the way to go. By every once in a while, I mean quite frequently. If your hair starts to feel oily, you gotta wash that hair out. What you need in a good shampoo is a detergent, a clarifying shampoo. You should use a clarifying shampoo about once a week. That will rip out all the dirt and oil. That's all it's designed for, is to get rid of oil. And that pulls most of the dirt out of your hair, cleans it out, and then you can produce your own oil in your hair like you're supposed to. Again, some of us are drier, some of us are oilier, So those times kind of change for different people. But for most people, about once a week, make sure you strip all the oil out of your hair. If you wash your hair once a day, you don't need to use a clarifying shampoo every day, just regular shampoo, not hand soap. Don't put hand soap on your hair. Hand soap does not break apart that oil very well. It's got its own big chain molecules like that, and you'll get more dirt in your hair, not on your skin. There's not enough hair on there to bother. Oh, where am I going to go next? Okay. Any questions on what we've done so far, or comments or concerns about your own skin that you'd want to bring up? Is that clicking there? Yeah. Yes, Caitlin.
Casino and soap at the same time. I have twice.
I didn't hear the beginning, but you were cutting out a bit on my end. Did you say that again?
Additional.
I'm
Conditional.
Say medicinal?
So, conditional.
Oh, additional. Yeah. Yes, that is important.
I didn't know.
Are you in a weird place where you've got a strange signal, or is it my signal that's screwy? All right, we'll wait on Caitlin. Caitlin, if you've got something, if you could put it in the chat, that would work well. Because you're breaking up every time I can hear it. I don't know if the rest of you can hear Caitlin fine, but I can't. So it may just be my section. All right. Anybody else got anything that you want to bring up right now? As we've got to pause. Yes, Kristen.
Yeah, sometimes we use sunscreen for our skin so we don't get sunburned.
Right. So that's another important part of keeping your skin healthy and making that barrier, keeping the outside out and the inside in. A sunburn is actually a burn, just like when you burn yourself with fire or on a stove or something like that. It is a burn. It can be a very dangerous thing, even though we think, oh, it's just a little sunburn, it's fine. So we put on the sunscreen so we don't burn. If you burn badly enough, you can break that skin right away and you will have cracks and holes. Even if it's just a light burn and you just peel a little bit, you're pulling away good, healthy skin that is now dead and not having that natural time for all that skin to keep itself hydrated and moist and to still protect you. It's much easier to break your skin when you're not, or when you've had a burn, it's not hydrated. All right, Caitlin, you want to try again?
Yeah, I use conditioner and soap for my hair.
Oh, yes, conditioner. Conditioner is an oil. That's all it is, really. So after you soap out, detergent out all your oils, you put conditioner in there and let that sit in. So you have some oil on your skin and on your hair until you can start producing enough of your own to make up for what you just stripped out. All right. So one of the other ways that we need to take care of our skin is to take care of our hair. And sometimes we need to get rid of that hair, or we don't need to get rid of that hair. Don't buy into society telling you can't have hair anywhere. It's nonsense. You want to have hair, have hair. But some of us like to remove some hair. Legs, back, face, all kinds of places. So it's important to know how to do that right. So we're going to go over that right now. How to get rid of unwanted hair in the simplest manner. You could wax, of course, but that is not a thing that I'm going to do right now. But learning to shave is a handy thing. And again, shaving face, shaving Any of the rest of you? It's all pretty much the same thing. And this will get us over, yeah, like our armpits. I would use a different blade that I'm going to use right now for an armpit though. One of the things that this is handy about is we get to cover a lot of different skin issues when we do this, or skin products. Products and stuff. Ways to take care of your skin. How about that? Okay, so the first thing you need to do, and I've already done this, is make sure that you scrub everything really well. It needs to be very, very clean. And you want warmth and wet on your skin before you start to shave. Whether it's your legs, whether it's your face. Hot, wet. You want your skin to, when it's hot, it expands so we can get to more of it. And when it's wet, it helps it lubricate and you won't catch your razor on yourself. One of the other ways we lubricate our skin is with shaving cream, which you cannot see right there. All right. So you get your mug and your brush. Your brush should also be warm and wet, and then you just wring all the water out of that, make it pretty dry. But now it's nice and soft. And you got a good bit of that in there. Plenty of soap onto your brush. Some of your, well, you can't see this because it's covered in that. And then you put it in your stirring bowl or cup. Some shaving creams have glycerin in them, which is a type of vegetable fat. Others don't. So if you don't, you can buy your own, which you, nope. There's a bottle that's about this shape of the blue thing in front of my head that you can't see. You know, I'm going to kill my background. That way we can see things. Okay, so just a bottle, and you do a little squeeze, just a couple of drops in there. And then you have your brush, and you just whip it around until you get that soap covering everything. And then you need a little more water. Dump some water in there, and then stir it up until you get a nice foam. Or lather. In the shaving hobby circles, you always want to call it a lather and not a foam. So good and thick. You can see how it, we got these great big gouts coming out on the corners here. Just like that. Cover your brush. One of the important things that you need to watch in the hair on your skin is what direction it grows. It all goes different areas. Some of it goes down, some of it goes sideways, some of it goes up. It goes everywhere, and it changes from bits and bits of your body. Even just down your arm. Some of it might be going this way, some of it might be going that way, right next to each other. So what I know about my face is that on my cheeks, my hair points down. On my neck, it points up. And then it's weird where I leave it alone. When you are applying your shaving cream, you want to make it go opposite the direction of the hair. So since the hair on my cheeks goes down, I want to push the shaving cream up. Jab at it with my brush. The reason we're doing that is so we get the shaving cream or soap to cover every hair. We want it all the way around. So as the hair is sticking down like this, we want to push shaving cream here so it gets over the whole thing. All right, the next part of what we do is we get our razor. I use a straight razor most of the time. If you use a straight razor or a proper safety razor where you take a razor blade and screw it in, it's a slightly different technique as opposed to those multi-blade disposables that so many people use today. If you're using a multi-blade disposable, which is very popular, but I don't own any, you just sweep it along, long and slow. Always slow, no matter what kind of razor you're using. But it's a long stroke. Yeah, just like Kristen showing you. You want a nice long stroke if you're using the kind like Kristen has. With others, you want shorter strokes, but still slow. So you can go with the hair or against the hair. You'll get more hair if you go against it. It is easier, and particularly if your hair is quite long, you'll go this way. You don't want to drag it. That just means you're going to cut your skin. You do not. There was a commercial when I was a teenager. The guy was pulling his nose like, you don't need to stretch your face out that far or your leg out that far. But you do want to stretch your skin a little bit and get it kind of flat. And then you just pick your line, get it flat. And short strokes with this kind of blade. Once you do a pass or two and you've got any kind of shaving cream on here at all, you're going to want to rinse that off. You don't need it staying there. And then you get your other side. I'm going to go down on this side just for fun, just so we can see the difference. There's not a lot of difference. Rinse that off. And then get the front part. So once you get the hair removed, you've still got the soap on there. And you've just pulled off all of the oils. But your skin is bare of any kind of protection. So you need to get yourself a nice soft cloth. If you have a rough washcloth, don't wipe your newly shaved skin with that. Nice soft cloth. I like the microfiber towels. And you just rub all that off. Don't rub hard. I'm barely touching myself, even though I'm moving a lot, but it's not rough. All right, so you got that off. And now I'm clean. I don't have any soap protecting my face. I don't have any oils protecting my face. I need something to protect my face or my legs. So you need some sort of oil to put on there, some sort of fat, basically. There are some aftershave lotions for body hair that you can buy. I don't know what the prices are on those, but I expect they're quite a bit. I use beard oils and beard balms, and they work everywhere on your skin. There is an oil called jojoba oil, and you can just use that. That's the base of these things. It's the closest thing that you can get from a plant to your own natural oils out of your sebaceous glands. If you're using a beard oil, and it's not, or beard balm, these are not just for beards. You can use them all over your body. All these are essentially are conditioners. They're leave-in conditioners. You just leave them in all day. But just like your hair conditioner, it has the same stuff, does the same thing. With a beard oil, you put like 2 or 3 drops onto your fingers and just rub it in. With a beard balm, you just melt it with your finger by rubbing until it becomes an oil. And then rub it through. You get a bit onto where you've shaved, but that's not the essence of it. And always use your beard brush. Your beard brush will serve 2 points, and you should have a brush for your legs, arms, whatever as well. It will help get rid of any dead skin that's lying behind that didn't get rubbed off with your washcloth. And it'll help get your conditioner through any hair that you have remaining. So if you're taking all the hair off, it doesn't matter except for the skin. You also want to clear everything out. Some kind of aftershave astringent. An astringent is an acidic sort of thing that rips away extra oils. So I use witch hazel. Don't use rubbing alcohol. One, it hurts because you make tiny little breaks in your skin and it'll get in there. More importantly, rubbing alcohol really dries out your skin. So that'll help break. Witch hazel will not dry out your skin. You just rub it into your hands and slap it on, give it a little rub. I don't like it underneath. I quite like this witch hazel because it's peach smelling. Doesn't smell for very long, but for about 5 minutes after I shave, peaches, it's lovely. And then you're done. You can reapply a little beard oil onto your skin if you want afterward, but you don't need to. It's nice and clean. Now I've got witch hazel all over my hands. And so this works with any part of body hair. I'm not going to throw my leg up on here, and you can't really see. My hair is too fine and light in color to be seen on this screen. But it works everywhere. Just the same thing. You put it on opposite the side, and then you just rub it along and remove all that. Oh, it's quite a bit of hair. Then rinse it off your razor. And then you just wipe off any excess, which also gets rid of the extra hair that's just sitting there. Really, I've got a patch that's just, everything just covers over. So that's shaving. But what do we do after the whole day? We know we need to clarify or use a clarifying shampoo on our hair and get the grease out of that. But we know there's grease and oil everywhere on our skin. What do we do about that? Because just regular soap doesn't help a whole lot. So you need something to strip that out. There are a number of products out there. I don't endorse the one I'm going to use, but I've been using it since I was a kid. So again, just like the clarifying shampoo, once, maybe twice a week. Get a cleansing cream. I like Noxzema, but I like the scent. And you just get a little bit of it on your fingers. And then you just wipe it all over your skin there. You'll get that clean. Go over. You want to make sure you take your glasses off because you got to get underneath that. Don't stick this kind of stuff in your eye. It'll sting. I've done it before. It's not pleasant at all. If you've got a receding hairline, you got to go way back on that thing. It's got to go up. There's little bits of it. You don't need to get the beard if you got a beard. One of the nicest things about having a beard, less skin to worry about. And all the worry about your skin and your beard is covered by your beard oil. So that's fine. Get under here, just above the philtrum. The philtrum's the little weird divot underneath your nose, just above your lip. Nobody knows what it's for. We get everything? Oh, wait, whoa, gotta get there. Tough part is I can't see with my glasses off, but I can't get everything with my glasses on. Oh, get in there. Keep it out of your tear ducts. And then you just leave this for, 5-10 minutes. And it'll just rip all the dirt and stuff out of there. And then you just wipe it off with a wet cloth. It's no problem at all. This is kind of a mess. And you got to clean that off pretty rapidly. So that's why we've got our handy rag here. Not a rag, washing cloth. It's too nicely made to be called a rag. You'll get a little tingle. Again, this has got a punch in there. I ain't got a tip on my nose. Missing that there. There we go. You don't want to leave this for too long. It'll just rip out too much stuff. It won't really hurt you. It'll dry a bit and be kind of annoying to take off. But again, a little hot water, no problem. You'll be fine. Should I get yeah, I didn't get underneath the top of my eyes here. I should get that. I don't want to go right onto my eyelids. If I touch them, it's fine, but I don't want a ton there because then when I open my eyes, it'll squeeze through and get into those difficult, painful places like the tear ducts or on my eyeball itself. Oh, wait, we got a thingy. Have with this app. I'm not sure what have with this app means. So once you do this, you scrub it off. It's nice at night because you've got a bunch of dirt from all day. Many of us bathe in the morning. So this at night will get rid of that stuff we picked up and keep us through until the next morning. And that's pretty much the basics. There's a lot of different stuff to talk about with skincare, but it's not stuff that I'm particularly expert at. There's all kinds of vitamin C serums and sugar serums and things like that, aloe serums. I know yesterday they were talking about using aloe in the gardening segment. I have aloe for burns and cuts and things like that, but I'm not an expert on its use in skincare. All right, so questions, comments about skin? Just give a wave. That button, there we go. Alex, you got something?
I really like your face, like a shaving cream.
Oh, why, thank you. It's a for everybody. Anybody else have something to throw out? Any questions they got? There we are, Caitlin.
You look like a ghost.
A ghost? I was thinking Ghostface Killer maybe, but that might be a bit of an aged reference these days. Anyone else have anything? But I don't know how many people I can see. I think we lost Kristen. She usually has something to talk about. All right, so I'll see you guys next week. Tuesday, don't forget, PALS TV's out for Monday, so just watch it on YouTube the whole time. And we'll kick it over to Aaron. If the button works. There we go.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that segment. Always being creative in your thoughts. To close out the weekend, or close out our show here and head into the weekend on PALS TV. We had a blast this week, giving you all kinds of different content and a wide variety of topics. So love our educational segments here from Columbus. Thanks again, Phil, and happy Memorial Day to you and everyone else out there. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Remember, if you get bored, some downtime, go check us out on the website. Underneath of the PALS TV schedule, you can find the previous videos, or if you go on YouTube and put in PALS TV episodes, they will come up. And I think Jonah actually broke them up into seasons. So you have season 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now. So if you wanted to go and binge watch your season, you can do that this weekend. So whatever you do, have fun, enjoy it, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday. So happy Memorial Day, everyone.